Alright, greetings Stars fans! Welcome to the Two Brothers Mic'd Up show. If you did not know, we come to you after every single Stars game. We sit down, we play a little NHL, give you our thoughts on what we thought of the game. And the Stars coming off of a 3-1 loss. Usually each video we go into a prediction from the last video, but you know, we wanted to keep this one short, so because there's not really much to talk about this game. I wanted to really keep like the negativity down because, you know, the Stars are still the first place team. So, you know, we predicted that if the Stars were going to win, it would be 3-1 or 4-1. If the Stars were going to lose, we predicted 4-2, 4-3, but the Stars lose 3-1. Now, the first thing that you notice from this game is that the Stars had a complete turnaround from the Columbus game. The Stars actually came out and was the better team at the beginning of the game, which hasn't been happening in the past 2-3 games. Within the first 15 minutes, it was all the Stars. You know, they were bringing momentum. They were really carrying the speed of the game towards the Calgary Flames, and you know, they get a shorthanded goal from Johnny Oduya. That's good to see. You know, him bringing the offense that he's bringing. You know, kind of not really filling in for Trevor Daley since you know, he doesn't have the points that Trevor Daley does. But he's really bringing something to the back end that the Stars, and as of right now, the Stars are the best team in the league with defensive scoring. But within the first 15 minutes of the game, Quinn, what did you like how the game was going?
They came out and wanted to set the pace early. They came out hitting. They were making crisp passes. I would have liked them to shoot the puck on net more, but overall they played really good. Yeah,
Dallas outshoots Calgary in the first 15 minutes of the period. You know, but what I didn't like about how the Stars started out this game was the early penalty that they took. Granted, it was a weak call. It was a very weak call. I think all of the penalties in this game were very weak. I didn't really think that there was any blatant penalty. Like, you know, the holdings and everything, like the trippings, you know, they were all ticky-tack plays that I just didn't really like seeing that the refs were calling those types of penalties. But, you know, that's just something that the Stars have to overcome. And you know what? They did. They responded by actually getting a stop. You know, in the past couple of games, on the first penalty that they would take, they would give up a goal. So it was good to see that the Stars actually shut down the penalty kill in this game, because the Calgary Flames, they had 3 power plays and didn't score on any of them. And Calgary coming into this game was on a 6-game winning streak, so they've been pretty hot. Not really so much on their power play, but they've been a hot team. And to see Dallas, you know, shut down the penalty kill the way they did was actually a really good sign for what I thought was going to be a good game. And, you know, but speaking of the penalty kill, it actually contributes to the scoring. Johnny Oduya joins the rush with Fiddler, going up on a 2-on-1. He gets the rebound and tucks it past Kari Ramo. Now, the last 5 minutes of the game, or of the period, was where you couldn't really hold a candle to. John Klingberg gets caught up ice and Sean Monahan chips a puck past who was it? Patrick Sharp, and then leaves Patrick Nemeth back for just a 2-on-1. And you know what? Kari didn't really play it all that well. I think that's a shot that, you know, he could have stopped. I'm not sure what Kari really wasn't in this game, to be honest with you. The first two goals were, I think, on Kari. You know, he just didn't play them great. Let's talk about what you liked about the game and what you didn't like about the game, Quinn.
First off, I'm gonna come out and say that the physicality, I think, has been most present in this game. You see the Stars starting off, and they're just throwing the body around. You see Ben with monstrous hits on TJ Brody. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. You know, it's always good to see your captain coming out and playing a physical game, because he is one of those elite power forwards in the league. You see Nemeth starting to throw the body around, and lo and behold, Jordy Ben's playing physical too.
Yeah, the Stars actually out-hit Calgary in this game.
Yeah, it was kind of a change of pace for him there. But I feel that the good offense that we were starting to see from Dallas, their good puck movement, they may have done what they did in the last Calgary game, is they just said that we're going to come out guns blazing, and they try to do too much. And I think that's what hurt them in the end. You see him trying to force passes, the 2-line passes up the ice, trying to clear in front of the net. It's just those little simple mistakes that are going to kill this team in the long haul.
Yeah, you are seeing a lot of the little mistakes, especially through the neutral zone and coming out of their own zone. They're passing again. Even in the Columbus game, we saw the passing wasn't really all that great until later on in the game. Like Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, they didn't really get on the right note from the jump, even though they were bringing a lot of the physicality and a lot of the pace. But it seems like Jamie Benn, he's losing the handle on a lot of pucks here in the past couple of games. I'm not sure what exactly that's all about. Hopefully that gets cleaned up, because, you know, they face Montreal in the next game. Now, the Stars are now 2-3 against the Calgary Flames over the last 5 games. With that 2-on-1 that Kari gives up, and then that short side, just I think the game was lost whenever Calgary was able to weather the storm from Dallas and, you know, really take a hold of the game, scoring 2 goals in that 5 minutes of the last 5 minutes of the period. And then they come and they outshoot the Stars 13-8 in the second period. So they grabbed all that momentum that was built up in the first period. They took it all away from Dallas, and then they wind up getting another goal from Raymond off of a not little flutter shot, but he was cutting through the slot and puts it back against the grain. I honestly think Kari was playing a little small on that shot. It looked like he wasn't really anticipating that shot as much. He got down expecting it to hit him in the chest or something like that. Instead of like having his arms out, making himself as big as possible, he made himself rather smaller than he should have been. So, you know, now the Stars are now 2 losses in their last 3 games. They have not lost back-to-back games, and with Montreal coming in, that's going to be I think the Montreal game is going to set up a really good test against the Dallas Stars, because we are going to see 2 top 5 offenses come together, but we're also going to see a top 5 defense as well. You know, Montreal is stacked with talent. Like, there's really, you know, they've had Price hurt a lot, so I'm not sure who their goalie is going to be tomorrow, but all around, that is just a sound team. They don't really have a lot of the defensive breakdowns that Dallas does on their back end. Who do you think starts in goal for us Saturday against Montreal?
I would hope Niemi would start, but I mean, against Montreal, I feel like we should look at the stats, see who plays better against Montreal, and if it happens to be Kari, you know, maybe try and ride him one more game.
Yeah, I'd like to see what Niemi has against Montreal. I went and looked at the past 4 seasons. Dallas is 2-3 against Montreal, so they're not really all that great against them. So I would maybe like to see what Niemi has against Montreal. But let's go into the ratings of this game. What did you give a rating for this game?
I gave a rating of a C-. They played great in the first period. They got the goal. The one thing that I feel is really starting to kill this team is the power play lines. I think it's time to start reworking the top line and the second line on the power play. Maybe jumble some lines up and see if we can kickstart some scoring. Because I think this is, the third game that we've been held without a power play goal.
Yeah, I think they are now 2 for 31 after this game on the power play. You know, their power play is, I honestly think the power play is what's killing their momentum in this game. What else did you have on your rating?
I know I've been preaching it in probably the last 7 or 8 videos, but this team's passing has got to get better. I was telling you when we were watching the game, it seems that when the momentum starts shifting, that Dallas' passing becomes like a bottom tier team, kind of like a house league team. Like, they can't catch passes, they can't make them, they're making panic plays with them, and the other team seems to be the best hockey team in the league at passing. So I would like to see our breakout game in passing improve over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, our passing, our breakouts, you know, there's a lot that this team, that I think that we're now starting to see some cracks in this team, especially whenever they're getting pressured. It seems like they hurry up a lot. They aren't really getting good passes in. Their power play has to go back to the drawing board. As of right now, there's no excuse for the current downtrodden rate that they are on right now. It doesn't seem like they're going to score again on the power play for weeks if they don't go back to the drawing board and figure something out. Their passing on the power play has just been dreadful. You know, they're getting decent looks, but they're just not cashing in on it, which is what is so frustrating. I gave a rating of a D because their power play killed their momentum. They were winning the first period. They had all the momentum going towards them. And then a defensive breakdown just let the Flames back into this game. You got decent goaltending. I honestly think that Kari could have played a lot better in this game. I think all of those goals were stoppable. Maybe that last one, not so much. But those first two, I think, are all on Kari. I don't care if it was a 2-on-1. It was just a simple little wrist shot. Yes, he put it in the right place, but I don't think he was set. He definitely wasn't set on the second goal. So I gave a D rating. Let's go into the predictions of what we have for the Montreal game. Quinn, what do you got?
I feel it's going to be a shutdown game from either team. They both know that they're skilled. They both know that they're top-tier teams in the league right now. So I feel they're going to come out and try to shut down each other's offense. So I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game, just for that fact. So if Dallas comes on top, I'm going to say it's 2-1, and if Montreal comes on top, I'm going to say it's also going to be 2-1.
Interesting. Yes, we're going to see the two top offenses in the NHL right now. I don't disagree that it's going to be a tight game, but I do feel it's going to be a higher scoring of a game. I think if Dallas is to come on top, I like a score of 4-2. If Montreal is going to come on top, I like a score of 5-3 because because Montreal has the better defense. I think it's going to rely on their defense and their goaltending to really take the Stars out of it. With that, I do think the Stars could outscore the Montreal Canadiens. That's why I like the score of 4-2 for Dallas. But again, Dallas has the weaker defense out of the two, and I think their goaltending is good, but I think it's a step down if Price is in net. If their backup Conda is in, I think it'll be an even playing field. So with that, that'll be the end of our discussion. Be sure to like, subscribe, share wherever you would like. Give us any feedback. Give us questions. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Remember, this is a show for fans by fans, and as always, tune in next time.